Hey guys, this is Danny Boy. So this time around we will be facing the Reapers. We'll finally be facing something other than Cerberus, and we'll be encountering a brand new enemy along with finding a new weapon. But I'm going to stick with the particle rifle for now, show that off a little bit more, and keep using Jarek, the Prothean party member, and using Dark Channel more. I do enjoy Dark Channel, but Stasis is so good. Granted, it's all pretty moot anyway, since I never use Liara, and I don't plan on using her. But, so this was a really fun planet. This is Lesuss. It is an Asari world. I'll just leave it at that, I guess. And we're going to fight a new enemy that is absolutely terrifying. Something I really wasn't expecting, and was very glad to see. So here we're just coming to a really large open area, and I'm positioning my party members to start because I know there's going to be something bad here. This is way too big to just be a place I'm passing through. There's going to be a fight here, but I did not expect what you're about to see at all. So that's not a good sound. And interesting, what is this? A Banshee. So we are now facing Banshees, and I was terrified of this thing. Anything that can move faster than me means I am terrified. And I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm not sure how powerful it is. I have no idea what it even does. So I'm just whipping out the pistol to get some shots on it. And... oh! So Banshees scream. Of course, I should have known that. They use a biotic scream, and in a second, she is going to manhandle Jarek with mine bullets. And there he goes. So if there was ever an enemy that minds you, this would be one of them. And she is just terrifying. She just slowly lumbers towards you, just waiting for the opportunity to destroy you. And I have a feeling that this one was a bit restricted in terms of her script, because later on we face more of these things, and they have some new tricks up their sleeve that this one is lacking. But that is our first introduction to the Banshee. Pretty hard target to take down, especially when they have some actual support. So now some random cannibals come around, so I'm going to quickly... well, I'm going to try to resurrect Commander Jarek, the Prothean, but for some reason it just isn't letting me. Whenever I try to, I take cover. So instead we're going to try out the particle rifle on cannibals, and it works well enough. Especially when there's this huge number of cover just everywhere. None of them can even really get a line of sight on me, and I have the high ground, so this was really a rather pointless fight. I kind of question why they even bothered putting cannibals in here. Compared to the Banshee, they're nothing, really. But as you can see, the particle ray does work very well on these guys. But they are just cannibals. I mean, what doesn't work well on cannibals? But the fact that it has just an infinite range, essentially, is also great. Though, it didn't seem to actually hit that guy, so maybe it's not quite infinite. I'm trying not to take any chances right now, just because I really don't want to die to some random nonsense and have to kill that Banshee again. I was seriously just freaking out when I was facing her. And still, I love to see that they kind of took a Dragon Age approach to the Reaper enemies in the game, in that, you know, the Darkspawn were essentially warped versions, abominations of the races of that game, whereas the Reapers are taking the species of Mass Effect, of the Mass Effect universe, and essentially mutating them and repurposing them to serve and fight in the war. And so the Banshees are the Asari, Marauders are Turians. God help me when I actually face Krogan. I'm sure there's going to be I mean, we've already faced Rachni Reapers when we face Krogan Reapers. I'm sure it will be bad. So some more cannibals, nothing too spectacular. Definitely prefer a sniper rifle for getting the jump on enemies, though. Takes a while for the particle rifle to actually kill anything. And I'm seeing cannibals with barriers, so there has to be a barrier engine around, but I couldn't find it at this point in time. It's actually off screen. I'll kill it later. Again, one of the big weaknesses of the particle rifle is just that it does expose you from cover for large periods of time, for long periods of time, which can get you killed if you're not careful. Really cool weapon, though. I'm sure it absolutely just demolishes enemies in lower difficulties, just pretty much instantly. Considering how quickly it does so on Insanity. And again, this is at level 1, so... It seems the game is actually pretty much balanced, at least on Insanity, to assume that you have level 1 weapons. Yeah, this sound horrified me. What the hell is that sound? I later discover what it is. And what is this? Some weird Reaper wall ornament? What the hell? So I was freaking out at this point. But now we're picking up the Disciple, which essentially is a pretty standard shotgun. It has 4 shots, so like the Crusader. Does decent damage, low weight, pretty standard capacity, fire rate, but it will stagger shielded enemies, which is a big deal. Especially on Insanity. And it fires pretty quick. I think it fires faster than the Katana. Pretty close to actually the Scimitar, but it has far less ammo in a clip. So, great all-around shotgun. Doesn't pack the range that I like in a shotgun. Again, my favorite shotgun probably has been the Eviscerator for Mass Effect 2. But there are a number of shotguns in this game that I really enjoy. And anyway, I think Insanity is pretty well balanced around you just having level 1 weapons, because, or at least being quite doable with level 1 weapons. Again, I've gone through pretty much the entire game with level 1 weapons, barring the brief period where I used my level 5 Predator, simply because it's expensive to upgrade everything, and they want you to be able to get the Spectre weapons, I would think, which are very expensive. So here we have a more difficult encounter, and I'll be finishing this video and posting the exciting conclusion in episode 31, which was a very interesting fight, one of the most fun fights that I think I've had. Very difficult without being very frustrating, I would say. So again, just she sync kills the party member, and I don't know if she can do that to me, but I haven't really taken the chance to find out, and I don't really plan to. Because again, she freaks me right the hell out. So this is Biotic Scream. I think you can avoid it if you're behind cover. At least I've been out of range, if nothing else. But now I'm being shot, so I'm gonna just take high ground. This is clearly a bad idea. Let's get out of this narrow stairwell. Let's abandon my party members for now. Though somehow James is surviving. Again, I think he's behind cover, so it's just not affecting him. Though, there he goes. He is now dead, and it's just me and the Banshee. But she doesn't have a biotic barrier, so I feel like I could probably take her down solo. So I'm still not quite going to res my party members. And fortunately for me, she's going after my drone, which is keeping its distance because he has rockets. And his AI changes when he has rockets. So an advantage to the drone when he has rockets that I didn't realize. That is nice, because he's kiting her away from him and away from me. But yeah, having trouble taking her out with just the Disciple and the Particle Rifle. Particle Rifle really doesn't do very good damage against armor or against hard targets. At least its damage isn't bad, but you have a very finite clip when facing hard targets. And she's not stunned, so I'm having a little trouble, even when she's moving slowly, keeping the beam on her just because of how obscuring the muzzle flash is on this weapon, especially when it's fully charged. So now I'm just trying to change position to just get line of sight on her, but now I'm a little worried because I know those cannibals are going to get into position to shoot me, but I don't want her barrier to start regenerating, and I believe it does. I've completely lost line of sight of her, and now I'm thinking, crap, her barrier's going to start regenerating. And yep, there it goes. So I just kind of tap her to try to prevent that from happening. But now I just noticed a projectile. And she has a barrier again, so I think that means she can charge. So now I am afraid. Very, very afraid. I'm alone. She has a barrier. She has two different colors on her barrier. I don't even know what that means. She has like a dark purple and a light purple now. And I am now going to be stuck in a corner facing this thing. I really have nowhere to go. So I'm going to take out the Disciple and see how effective it is against barriers. And it is fairly effective, but ow. That does a lot of damage. Yes, and now I'm just trying to get the hell out of there, but I die. Her projectiles are basically heat-seeking missiles, and they do a damage over time as well. But this video has come to an end. The next video will finish this up. Thanks guys for watching, and have a good one.